Hey guys, it's Shelby, otherwise known as Shelbizleee here on YouTube, and as you can tell by the title of this video, today we are going to attempt zero waste grocery shopping at Aldi's, specifically because a couple weeks ago, or maybe like a month ago now, I did this at Target where I tried zero waste shopping at Target, and I asked you guys to tell me where you would like me to try it out next, and the majority of you said Aldi. So if you have a request for where you would like to see me do it after Aldi's, make sure you leave that in the comments, and I will definitely make sure to try this out at the next place that you recommend. Now, just some disclaimers before we get started. Last time I titled the video, I tried zero waste grocery shopping at Target, and some people wanted to tell me that that's not zero waste grocery shopping, it's just plastic free grocery shopping. Look, A, you don't make up the definition of zero waste, neither do I, but I will use it as I please, because basically anything that can be recycled over and over again, I would consider it no waste. So hence, yeah, zero waste. And two, it's called I tried zero waste grocery shopping. Hence, I am not going to succeed fully because none of these places are bulk stores. None of these places are dedicated zero waste shops. And this video series is dedicated to people who do not have the option to go to a farmer's market, to go to a package-free store. This is not for you. If you have access to all of that and already know how to do all of that, this is for people who don't have those choices, and there are a significant amount of you guys out there. So I'm going to be taking with me today a few things. You've probably seen my essentials before. These are my Chico bags. They collapse into these little bitty pouches and they expand into full-size grocery bags. And I also always bring, well, these are a lot of extra produce bags, but these are also my Chico produce bags that collapse up really small so that I can have them with me at all times, and they're very, very convenient. I will link those below because you guys asked me a lot about that last time. But without further ado, let's head to Aldi. It's actually kind of far from me. I actually have never grocery shopped at Aldi's. I've been there before because my friends or like my family, I've been there with them. But the only one in Austin is about 30 minutes away from my house, and I've definitely never grocery shopped there, so I have no idea what to expect. But you guys are gonna come along with me. Let's get going. So anytime you walk into a grocery store with the intention of buying food that is mostly package free and or plastic free, I highly recommend starting in the produce section. Almost any grocery store is going to have at least a couple things that are fruit or veg that are package free. So you want to build your meal around that. So that is the first thing I did when I got to Aldi. I headed straight to the produce section. And as you can see, it's not the worst produce section ever. It's actually a little bit better than I was expecting. They had some package free broccoli, some package free peppers, even tomatoes. So I wasn't too discouraged by what I saw in the produce section. My spirits were starting to get a little bit up as I was walking through the produce section. Then I found myself on the Valentine's Day aisle. Okay, so far, not the worst. I was expecting it to be a little bit worse, actually. I thought that most things at Aldi like come in bulk, and come in bulk as in like a lot in plastic bags. There is some things here that are package free, but I'm really trying to not do like a Spanish dish again, because that's what I did whenever I went to Target and when I went to Walmart. That seems to be the default for me, so trying to push myself beyond that to be, you know, a little bit more creative. But I don't have any ideas, and I'm sure people think I'm weird for walking in circles in the produce section without anything in my basket, trying to figure out what I can get without plastic. After I realized what I could get without plastic in the produce section, I headed to the other aisles to figure out what I could get in more sustainable packaging, and as we've discussed, that includes glass, paper, and metal. I was happy to see that they did have some spices in glass, and I've also heard they have an amazing vegan line, so I definitely at least wanted to check that out. I did what I call the shake test, because sometimes meat alternatives come in just the cardboard and they skip out on the plastic bag. And a little tidbit here, close the refrigerator while you're looking at stuff. It helps save energy and keep the glass from being foggy. But anyway, I did the shake test on a few of these meat alternatives here, and it did sound like some of them had plastic in them, and that doesn't always deter me, but from this challenge, I definitely couldn't buy something that had a thin plastic in it and call that I tried to be zero waste at Aldi. So I passed those up. I did continue looking for some other ones, some possibilities, where I found this meatless bolognese. I found this while I was looking at something else that was very peculiar, and very weird, which was bacon covered dates. Who who is this for? I don't understand. What I did scope out is there's a butternut squash over there, no packaging, and broccoli, no packaging. So if I can find rice, plastic free, that might be what we go with. So then I embarked on the mission to find plastic-free rice, and on my way I found pasta packages with even bigger plastic windows than normal. Not a fan of that, Aldi. I also found some alphabet, like pasta. People DIYing alphabet tomato soup. I don't know. Sounds kind of good to me. But I was on the hunt for rice, and I could not find any on this aisle that was clearly meant to be pasta and rice, except for this huge bag of plastic, and then the rest of the rice/couscous was oddly across the aisle. I found that to be something that was very common in Aldi, like the end caps had like your essentials on them instead of like random items like typical grocery stores do. So I found quinoa wrapped in plastic, quinoa that's cooked wrapped in plastic. This quinoa actually sounded like it didn't have any plastic, but if you saw my last episode in this series at Target, I bought that same thing. So I thought I would keep looking and try to mix it up, and I got really lucky and found some rice that passed the shake test, which is you shake it, it doesn't sound like there's any plastic, it sounds like it's just cardboard. So this rice passed that test. It's called instant rice. I'm really not sure what that means. I've never used it before, but I chose that over the couscous/quinoa because, like I said, I used that in the last episode of this series and I didn't want to do it again. Now that I had my staple of a grain, I was able to go back to all the things that I knew were plastic free in the produce section and start compiling all of my ingredients for my meal. I picked up a butternut squash, and then I also went and picked up a couple broccoli crowns. I think I might have gotten too much broccoli. I seem to always get carried away with too much broccoli, but you know, it never goes to waste because it's an easy thing to freeze and eat later. I also thought I would try to be a little bit more adventurous and get a chili relleno. I have eaten these before, but they're definitely not my favorite, but I am of the thought process that training yourself to like things that are good for you is something that you can do, especially as an adult. Then, naturally, I headed for the spices, and they had a lot of spices, or maybe not a lot, but they had a variety of spices, but the only ones that came in glass were the ones on the very top shelf. And it wasn't Aldi's brand, unless it is like a Serve brand that they have, I'm not really sure, but the price was right on these, you guys. They were less than $2 a piece. Spices can sometimes get pretty expensive, so I was happy to see that. So I went through all of them. They were kind of repeats, most of them, but I ended up getting these 4. Lastly, from the spice aisle, since garlic only came in plastic in the produce section, I added in some pre-minced garlic. Now, this is something I've never bought before, so we'll see how this goes, but it was in glass with a metal lid, so I wasn't too mad about that. Like I said, this is a random end cap that had like essential items on it. Aldi had me all kinds of turned around, so I went to the canned aisle last to see if we could find anything else that could incorporate well into the meal I was planning. I found whole potatoes in a can. Never seen that before. But I also grabbed a vegetable medley because I thought that could be good to mix into the bowl that we're making. I just kind of go through there and see if there's anything that could kind of fit in with the theme of the dish I was making, and I figured we also needed a protein, so I grabbed some garbanzo beans, also known as chickpeas. You decide. And then I think that was just about it when I saw the fully cooked bacon out of the refrigerator. I was ready to head to the checkout aisle. So that's what I did. Push this through here. Aha! And then I can get my quarterback. I was super awkward at the end there because I didn't realize that he wouldn't bag my groceries, and then B, wanted my grocery cart for the next person, and I was baffled and confused, and then I had to pack up my stuff over on their counter. Like I said, I've never shopped at Aldi before, so that was fun. When we get home, I'll show you guys what I ended up getting and how I plan to make it into a meal. Alrighty guys, let's see what I got in my Aldi haul. So as far as Aldi as a whole, how friendly they are to like zero waste, plastic free, package free grocery shopping, they're not the best, but they're also not the worst. I was honestly kind of expecting it to be worse than what it was because I was able to get enough stuff that would make sense to make an entire meal out of. A lot of it you guys already saw me talk about, but let me show you what I got anyway. So I got broccoli, 2 crowns, which is probably a lot for one meal. No, that is a lot for one meal, but broccoli is my favorite vegetable. I'll definitely eat it. You also saw me get this cute little butternut squash. Now, something you really can't avoid pretty much anywhere with grocery shopping are food stickers, so produce stickers. This is a really big one compared to most produce stickers, so that's kind of lame, and I don't have a solution for them. Some people have said they're edible and or biodegradable, like food grade plastic, and then I've heard other people say like, no, definitely not. So yeah, I would definitely not advise eating them, but if you've tried this before, like put them in your compost and they've actually composted, let us know in the comments. You saw me do the sound test with the brown rice. Sounds like there's no plastic in there. But I never buy rice like this. I always buy it in bulk. So let's open it up and make sure. Now I'm gonna have to hurry up and cook it so weebles don't get in here if there isn't a bag. There is no, it's literally just a cardboard box. That's dope. And there's no like packet or anything in here. I see you, Aldi. Okay, well this is a cool option. This is by Earthly Grains. If you shop at Aldi, completely plastic free. That's cool. I saw whole canned potatoes there, which I've never seen before. You guys are gonna have to let me know please in the comments if you've ever seen that anywhere else. I've never seen canned potatoes. I don't know. I don't shop for canned food too much, so maybe that's why, but have you guys ever seen canned whole potatoes? Let me know in the comments. But this also has potatoes in it. This is just mixed vegetables. I figured maybe we could add this to the little recipe that I've come up with for today's recipe idea. So, I mean, we'll see if there's any plastic in here. I'm hoping there's not. It says this is a steel can, so it doesn't say anything about plastic. Last time I talked about this, some steel and aluminum cans are lined with plastic, and you have to be really careful about that if you're looking to recycle them, because you'd have to peel off all the plastic from the metal can in order to recycle it properly. And the reason that metal is better than plastic is because plastic, whenever you recycle it, kind of like downcycles. It becomes a less quality form of plastic, whereas metal can be made back into the exact same quality of stuff indefinitely. So that's why it's better. I grabbed some garbanzo beans to go with the meal I'm gonna put together. Also known as chickpeas, I'm pretty sure, but whatever you call them. I went pretty overboard on the spices because they were $2 each. Like each of these were $1.95 and this was like $1.79, and I never cook with pre-cut garlic. I'm just a big proponent of like, garlic is like one of my favorite like flavors, and to put this in there makes me feel like it's gonna be downgraded to be not as flavorful. So I don't know, I'm gonna experiment with this because the only garlic they had there was in like a plastic net bag, and I obviously didn't want to get that. So this is in glass with a metal lid too, which is super cool. I don't know, I never tried it. What do you guys think? I feel like garlic is also a polarizing issue. Do you buy chopped garlic? Do you chop it all yourself? What do you do? I don't know. This is not my #1 choice, but it's what I had to deal with for this video. The other spices I got, again, don't use this very often, but this is garlic granules, so we'll make sure to spice this meal up with some garlic. Ground cumin, that's just a go-to. I probably didn't have to get this because I think we might have some. I'm not positive on that. But then I also got cayenne pepper, and I also got basil leaves. So I never see this. I'm always looking for this in a glass jar, and I can never find it. So I just picked that up. And then the only other things I got are a chili relleno. I think that's how you say this. I don't typically eat these very often either, but it's one of the only things that was unpackaged. And then to go on the side, I got a mango, which this one is just freaking beautiful. So happy, I'll just put this on the side. Also, I took my jacket off because it was pretty chilly when I left here this morning, maybe like in the 50s, and now I think it's probably like in the 80s, and yesterday it was in the 30s, 40s. So that's just how it goes in Texas. If you're wondering why I look a little bit different, that's why. So basically I just plan to make a little plant-based meal with some rice. I'm gonna cube this up, cook those two things together. I'm going to possibly mix the vegetables with my garbanzo beans and flavor these guys with my minced garlic. and probably some cayenne pepper. That sounds good to me. And then, well, saute the pepper and a little bit steam the broccoli and have my mango on the side. So like last time, I'll make that and cook it for you over on my vlog channel by the next week or so that this goes up, because it'll take me a little while to prepare that meal. My kitchen is tiny and I don't like cooking it. It is not my favorite thing to do. So that's it. I hope this was super helpful. Like I said, I chose Aldi for this video because last video you guys told me this is what you wanted to see. So definitely don't forget to let me know in the comments which grocery store you'd like to see me test this out next. What do you guys think of Aldi? Is it more difficult than your traditional grocery store, or is it about the same as like a Walmart? I feel like I had an easier time at Walmart. There was more stuff unpackaged, whereas like at Aldi, you could not make a salad with any sort of green. They didn't have a single green leaf that wasn't in plastic, which is pretty disappointing. I feel like Aldi's prices are right, and I really like that. And I like that they don't even give you an option for a grocery bag. Like you can't get one even if you wanted. And I think some things about Aldi are cool, like in concept, but they're definitely not going to become my staple grocery store, I'll tell you that. Also, it would be really helpful if you guys told me any potential meals you saw while I was walking around the store that I missed. I definitely know I'm not perfect and I don't have the solutions to everything. I'm just trying to show you to think outside the box at a traditional grocery store in case you don't have any other options. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave your recommendations in the comments down below. And remember, until next time, you cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that you can do. Bye guys. Good luck grocery shopping out there. Hey guys, really quickly, I actually forgot a couple things I think you would be really interested in. Number one is I'm doing a giveaway over on my Instagram right now for one of my mattresses. If you've heard me talk about recently the new mattress I got, it is the most eco-friendly mattress I could find on the market and I love it so much. It is a big value. The one I currently have is worth, I think, close to $1,600, and I'm giving one away for free, so I'll link the giveaway for that below. I also wanted to ask you to please click the link in my description to go look at all of my recent videos and see if you've missed any, because I've been getting a lot of people telling me that they're not getting my notifications even when their notifications are turned on, and I can definitely see that in my traffic sources that people are not getting my videos. I don't know what that is. YouTube goes like this, you know, I'm here for it, it's fine, but if you have been not seeing me and you've missed out on some stuff, I have some recent videos like do's and don'ts for a sustainable Valentine's Day, some decluttering videos. I'm very proud of my most recent declutters. I also have a video where I talk about me and Madison and how we recently purchased a van to build out into a tiny little home. So if you haven't seen those videos, yeah, like I said, I'm gonna leave a link in the description where it'll take you straight to all my most recent videos, and I would love if you check those out. And if you don't already have the notification bell on, turn it on for me. And yeah, that's it.